are going to pressure you hard. And I thought the Kings pretty much was able to match their pressure. The one thing where the Kings were lackluster on, and it comes back to that small ball scenario, Scott, rebounding the basketball. Yeah. I thought OKC, the Kings gave them too many second chances at shots. And when you're talking about a team that scores in their magnitude, when you give them a second and a third chance at a shot, that's going to kill you.
No doubt. And obviously rebounding was the major problem late in the game. No doubt.
Rebounding, and then, too, on the offensive side, the Kings got stagnant.
Yeah.
You know, once again, the ball stopped moving. The ball stopped hopping around. And you really have to figure out at that particular time, and you have all these new pieces, and I definitely understand it because, yes, you got veterans and you have future Hall of Famers in these positions, but they're still new to one another. So when it comes down to crunch time, who's going to be that guy? Who's going to step up and say, me? Well, none of them has done it. You know, Zach has come out in the first quarter, I'd say the first 3 quarters, and play like a perennial all-star. Fourth quarter, Zach ain't there. You know, same thing with DeMar. DeMar's shots go a little short. Maybe those guys are playing too many minutes. Maybe they're getting tired. You know, I can see that where the shots are short, shots aren't falling to where they were. I honestly think Domas is playing hurt. I really do. Yeah. I watch him out there. I don't think he's 100%. You know, we talked about this the other game. I said, is Domas coming back because he's ready, or is he coming back looking at his team saying, they need me? So I think a lot of that played into the game the other night.
No question. And Domas was just 5 of 15 in the game. Wasn't necessarily his best game. And again, I think the bigger thing is he's picking up a lot of fouls away from the ball. That's the one thing that I don't want to see him get back into that habit. It seemed like he broke it last year.
Ticky-tack fouls away from the ball is part of it. But then again, Scott, when you're not hitting on all cylinders and you're trying to be aggressive, you're trying to do something extra, you're going to have ticky-tack fouls. I think a lot of that with Domas has to do with he's not 100%. Mm-hmm. When you look at him on the floor, do you see a Domas that's 100%? I don't think so. I think he's out there, he's playing, he's giving it all he has. Yep. How many times have we seen Domas hit the floor this year?
Feels like hundreds. I mean,
no, this year.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but I mean, he's been on the ground. Of course, one of those plays he picked up a foul on the ground, wasn't a foul.
But I'm saying,
to your point, not as many as you're
right.
Kicking.
We usually say the game doesn't start until Domas hits the floor.
I understand what you're saying.
And this year, he really hasn't been on the floor. No diving, being very active. When you are 100% and you feel good,
you're willing to give
that's your game.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that because he hasn't been 100%.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. And for the Kings, you're right. The things that they did that made them successful the first 3.5 quarters, they seem to get away from in the final 6 minutes.
And then I think, too, that OKC figured it out. Of course, they're a great basketball team. Doug went to a gimmicky defense.
Yeah.
He went to you can call it whatever you want, 1-2-2, 1-2-2, 2-3 zone, matchup zone, whatever you call it. He did go to a zone, and it bothered OKC for a while. But like good basketball players do, I sit up here and I argue with you. I'm like, how long is it going to take before you figure out this zone? They did. They start moving the man right to the center of the zone, and they figured it out. So at that particular point, the Kings have to go back to playing man-to-man. And when you go man-to-man against OKC, you're not going to win.
No doubt about it. And obviously they've got one of the most clutch players in the league who closed things out on them. And that big three-pointer by Dort was huge, too.
The three-pointer by Dort was huge. I would have to say the strip on Domas by Dort and the kick out to Caruso.
Yeah,
he knocked down a big three-pointer. So it's not just Shea that they're looking at saying, bail us out. Shea did what he did. He got to the free throw line twice, knocked down 2 jump shots. But when you got other guys that step up, that help you out, all the onus isn't on you. And so now it's all about, okay, we're not going to just guard Shea. We got to guard some of these other guys too.
Yeah, no doubt. Westbrook got the start, 4th different starting lineup for the Kings. It was fun for him to get that in OKC. He played well.
Russell played well. I have to give him that. As much that surrounds Russell Westbrook and what he brings, what he don't bring, the pros and cons, I was happy with the way Russ played. Now, does Russ play flawlessly? No. because I still seen some turnovers. I still saw an air ball that you're like, come on, Russ. But, that's what you're going to get when you have Russell Westbrook on your floor. So, but overall, I thought he had a good game.
No, he did. He brought it, no doubt about it. And it'll be interesting. We've seen different starting lineups every game so far. It'll be interesting if Doug does find a regular starting lineup.
Well, the problem here, Scott, is that, you have most of your talent at those two positions. Let's say 2-3 positions. At the 1, at the 2, at the 3. Now, when you bring Russell Westbrook in, of course, you're going to have Dennis and Russell. They're going to switch off at the point guard position. You got Zach at the 2. Okay, you got to figure out who you're going to play behind Zach. Is it going to be Malik Monk or is it going to be Keon Ellis? Mm-hmm. And then you got Debo at the 3. And with those 3 positions, it's not enough minutes to appease all those guys.
Yeah.
So here's the problem that you have when, your starters are playing decent. Right? Malik Monk is coming off the bench playing Herculean, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, let's say Keon's out tonight, but let's say Keon is at your disposal and he's locking down their best defender. Well, you got four small guards out there on the floor now with whoever else you're going to put at the 5.
Yep.
And, and it's kind of hard doing that, understanding that you're getting beat by 14, 15 rebounds a night. And none of those small guys understand the full concept of gang rebound playing small ball. They still haven't got that yet.
No doubt. We have got confirmation Keon's not going to play tonight.
That's what I said. Keon's not playing tonight.
Yeah, he's out. You're right on that. So it is official. He is out tonight. So another wrinkle for Doug Christie to navigate through the season. It's early, and he's obviously hasn't had a full roster yet.
No. And the problem is, Scott, not just having a full roster, but the pieces that you are missing. Mm-hmm. That Keegan Murray hurts.
No doubt.
Oh, man. I mean, that Keegan Murray hurts times 2. Because you're short, no pun intended, in that position.
Yeah.
You're short on guys. We're talking right now, and I was listening to the Rise guys on the way up, and callers are calling in saying that, Domas is only giving you 50%. He's giving you this. Well, 50% of Domas is better than, I'm sorry, what we have coming off the bench because those guys aren't ready to play those type of minutes yet.
Right.
So, it's either Domas or nothing. Domas on that. So they got Domas out there. He's playing at a 50% level. So when you don't have Keegan Murray, now you have to play guard play. After a while, you're going to look at the Sacramento Kings roster and say, wow, we should be in a 6-6 league because that's the size of guys that we have at our disposal.
No doubt. Drive guys. Rise guys, you dated yourself there.
Yes, I did.
You did. But to your point. So the Kings right now just trying to find a way to get some W's. 1-3. I guess the bright side of it, they've been competitive in all 4 games. And as Doug said, and again afterwards, he said they could be 4-0, and that is true in the sense that they've been close in all 4 games.
They've been trying to find a way, and I will give them credit on that. I told you that I was really going to judge this team on how they playing. Are they taking a step in the right direction? Do you see different things being changed? Do you see different scenarios being implemented by the players? I do. On the defensive side, I have definitely saw a difference between game 1, game 2, and game 3. Game 1, no pressure at all. Game 1, they played no defense at all. Game 2, they changed that. Yep. Game 3, they looked a lot better. Yep. So now you're getting what you want on the defensive side. Of course, you're going to get some ticky-tack fouls, depending upon how the refs call the game. But these guys are trying to do what you're asked. It just haven't been, in full circle yet. So I see them taking the steps, but it's going to take a second for them to get that cohesiveness on that offensive side, saying, okay, in real, true grit time, who's going to be the guy? What plays are we going to run? Who's hot, who's not? A lot of that goes back to the point guard position. If your point guard is really in tune to what's going on the floor, he's going to figure out who deserves to have the ball. And the problem is, at some particular point, the guy that's hot might be on the bench.
Right. But he's the guy who needs the ball.
Right. So you got to go through all of that.
To that point, we talked about this last year, too, where we thought Zach's got to step up late in games, right? He's the guy who's got to carry this team. We know DeMar can carry a team down the stretch with the mid-range game, but right now, you're diagramming plays late. You were on that bench last night. What would you have done?
And see, Scott, that's why I said guys that are hot. Mm-hmm. Not the guy that you think should take the shot.
Sure.
guys that were hot. Like you said, you go back one game removed. I honestly thought Malik Monk's supposed to be on that floor.
Right, no doubt. Friday night against Utah.
He was hot.
Yep, 6 threes.
And it wouldn't have even been a question of who was going to touch that ball at that particular time. He would have had the ball in his hands and he could have made a decision. So that's where I say, sometimes when a point guard is looking and trying to figure out who needs to get this ball, well, the guy that's hot might not necessarily be on the floor. But you have to know all of those things, and it takes time for you to go through those things to really understand it.
Yeah, and even though it's an experienced team, obviously, it doesn't mean they have experience together.
With each other.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You could be experienced all day and night, Scott. I always bring this back up. You remember when the Lakers, your team.
Yep, Showtime.
Carl Malone, no, after that.
Oh, Gary Payton, that crew.
Yes,
Karl
that
Malone.
crew. They were loaded
The Red Lakers.
with talent. There you go.
Yep.
They were loaded with talent and
Yeah.
was supposed to walk to a championship.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it just didn't work. All of those guys singly on their other teams had big-time success.
Yeah.
But when you brought them together and they didn't have time to play together for a long time, it was a mess.
Yeah.
So just because you got talent and Hall of Famer guys doesn't mean that it's going to always come together right then. It's going to take a minute.
No doubt. That's what the Kings are experiencing right now. All right, game night's underway. If you want to join us, you certainly can. 916-339-1140. We'll read your texts. We'll take your phone calls. We're up and running in our YouTube chat as well. Join us there on our Sactown Sports YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed to that yet, do so when you go to the page. You'll enjoy all the content we put up on our Sactown YouTube page. More of Game Night coming to you next right here. Sactown Sports 1140.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
The greatest show on dirt returns to Stockton Dirt Track. October 31st and November 1st. It's the 42nd annual tribute to Gary Patterson. 2 nights of all-out racing to the finish, crowning the 2025 champions on dirt. Tickets now at StocktonDirtTrack.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not
get real cash back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marsh along with the High Flyer Henry Turner. We'll be with you until 4:30 today. Kings and Bulls, 5 o'clock tip. Maybe the best news for Kings today. No Kobe White. He's out with Chicago.
Yeah, Kobe White has been a Kings
all
killer.
first-team Kings killer team.
Yes, he's one of those guys to where when he sees purple, he turns into a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
No matter at home or away, he always finds a way to give the Kings buckets.
I would have to put him on the all anti-Kings team. I mean, if I had a point in that, just of like over the years, guys who you wouldn't expect just having great games against this team. P.J. Washington would be on that
P.J. Washington's on that team. D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, man, that 24th quarter he had back in
on
Brooklyn.
that team.
Yeah.
It's a couple more people.
Yeah. I mean, there's some obvious choices.
Isaiah Joe is working his way up that one, too, because he came in and gave us big-time buckets.
No doubt. We'll get you a full injury report later in the broadcast. Game Night being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of vehicles at mbfstockton.com. Second night of a back-to-back for Sacramento. It's their first back-to-back of the year. Henry, I know how you feel about back-to-backs.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about it because there's no excuse on a second night of a back-to-back.
At all. No excuse. I mean, I'm sorry. Back-to-backs are a part of the NBA. I don't understand why. And we're talking about in the first 5 games. Okay, I understand if you're talking about a back-to-back in game 67 and game 70 to where, the season has been long, it's been grueling. We're talking about the first 5 games. A back-to-back, man, lace your shoes up. Let's go.
Let's play it.
Yeah, let's go.
Chicago's 3-0 to start the year. I think that might be one of the most surprising records right now.
Mm-hmm. Playing good basketball.
Yeah.
Another team that, quote unquote, whoever that's in the brass of media that says which team is going to be good in the NBA and which team isn't. That's one of those teams where they're like, Chicago's rebuilding, they're not going to get it done. Well, they're coming out and they're playing good quality basketball.
Yeah, they are for sure. We'll break down the Bulls in a little bit as well. But just going back to last night, just a few other things in terms of that box score. I mean, for the Kings, it was a 39-point second half after having such a terrific first half offensively. We talked about the fourth quarter, trying to find ways to score, especially when the game gets late. The key of it is what got you to that place you have to continue to do still.
Yes, and that's talking about, Scott, the ball is bouncing around. It's moving. It's going from side to side. The ball just isn't going to one side, stagnant, stopping, and, you running just a DHO and the ball stays on one side and you get a three-point shot. No, the ball has to come inside out. It has to move all the way around the horn and try to find some of these guys that might be in the wrong position at the wrong time.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. Without Keon, what do you see as some of the rotations tonight?
Wow, it makes the rotations easier for Doug. Mm-hmm. So now, Russell can get extended minutes. Malik Monk gets extensive minutes. As far as what you're still going to do to alleviate that 4 spot, you still going to have to drop DeMar down in that 4 spot at some particular point. You're still going to have to go small.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be a while without Keegan, Neek. Still with that hammy, and they're not going to mess with that on a younger player for sure.
No. I mean, you got to take his time. I mean, we already see what, a guy that's really trying to help his team out looks like when he's not 100. So there's no need of rushing Neek back right now. Let these guys get healthy. The problem is with Domas is that we really don't have anything else that's going to really, be where he has to be. So, he's one of those guys that 100% warrior. I want to be out here trying to help my team.
Yeah, no doubt. In terms of front line, we saw Drew Eubanks play last night about 13 minutes. We didn't see Cardwell. We didn't see Isaac Jones in the game. Were you surprised by that? I know they didn't have Holmgren last night. I get that, but Hartenstein is still as big as they come in the middle.
I did. I mean, I honestly thought that you were going to see a little bit of Cardwell. But the problem is, Scott, is that they're not a liability on the defensive side, is that you really get absolutely nothing from them on the offensive action. So now it's 5-on-4. And, seeing how good OKC is on the defensive end, when you get to have a 5-on-4 matchup, that's going to be tough for those four guys out there. So, I understand why Doug ran with Sabonis, because at least with Sabonis out there, they have to be legitimately guarding him.
Yeah, and he was a monster on the glass. He didn't have a great offensive night, but he had 18 rebounds.
Right. And, when you take that off the floor, where do you go? Because we talked about it again. I mean, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's where you have to be. If you even want to take Sabonis off the floor for any period of time, your guards have to rebound. They have to gain rebound. I think Zach had maybe 4 and DeMar had
rebounds.
1.
Yep.
That's not going to work when you're playing 30-plus minutes. Yeah. Both of those guys are going to have to get anywhere between 8, 7, 6, 8, 9 rebounds per each one.
Yeah. Now, the interesting part was they out-rebounded Oklahoma City last night.
Right. And that's a good thing, but when it counted, Scott.
Right. They got clobbered when it counted.
When it counted. You had guys flying over the top of guys from OKC, grabbing rebounds. You had guys that wasn't even thinking about boxing out. When you go back to that one possession to where Sabonis lost the ball because Dort came around and grabbed it from him.
Right.
Nobody touched Dort on the rebound.
Yep.
He came flying in, didn't get the rebound. Sabonis grabbed it, but ran around on the side. If somebody puts a body on him, that don't happen. You have to have a yin to your yang.
Yeah, no doubt. The reason we didn't see Holmgren was just his back. He didn't play first night of a back-to-back. We're talking about back-to-backs. It's interesting now. Michael Jordan's back in the mix of conversation. He's part of the NBC broadcast team, and they're doing little interviews with him. Well, he made his, they're called insights to excellence, right? And he was talking about back-to-back, and he just says there should never be any such thing as a back-to-back or load management in the NBA.
Old school guys feel that way.
I know.
Same way I feel.
I know.
We understand what back-to-backs were. We went through back-to-backs. We even had a more grueling style of play back in the day. I seen something on Instagram today, Scott, and it was like NBA back in the 80s, and man, it looked like an episode of WWE. Exactly. So we played a total different brand of basketball, and we went through back-to-backs. Yeah. So, for us old heads, us dinosaurs, we don't want to hear nothing about load management.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously, if anybody played through pain, it was the great one.
Oh, I mean, every night you got a target on your back. And, what these young guys have nowadays, the technologies and shoes and, all the wraps they get and everything that you have that the trainer staff gets, all of those things have definitely been elevated since we played back in the day. You should be able to play every day, all day with what you have at your disposal.
Yeah, no doubt. And so it's fun having MJ back a part of the league.
It's fun having MJ around, period, man. MJ is quite content with going on with his life. He has so many other things that he does in his life, but for him to come back to the NBA, this is exactly what the league needs.
And especially with the NBC package, because that's where he was when the Bulls were winning their dynasties, which is pretty cool. All right, we got to take the break. When we come back, we'll go around the league. Some good games last night. Warriors and Clippers. Golden State continues to impress in the Western Conference. We'll talk about that and a lot more. It's game night right here. Sactown Sports 1140.
Can you hear your inner strength? Maybe not. It's too loud out there. Try stepping inside the Toyota Camry and experience its sleek design, remarkable efficiency, and technology that makes every drive feel effortlessly smart. There it is, your inner strength. Unleash it with the Toyota Camry. Smoother and more captivating than ever. Toyota, let's go places. Visit toyota.com for details.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-292-0975. 800-292-0975. Again, that's 800-292-0975.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marsh along with the High Flyer, Henry Turner. We're with you until 4:30 today. Kings Live pregame coming up then. Jason Ross here with Henry. 5 o'clock tip, G-Man with the call in the Windy City. Kings and Bulls, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan back in town. It'll be the first time back for Zach LaVine since heading out to Sactown. What do you think that'll be like? I'm sure he'll get a nice tribute there.
He should. So. He should. I mean, Zach did a lot of work. So did DeMar. Both of those guys did a lot of work in Chicago. I mean, I understood that the experiment that they had didn't work.
Yep.
You know, because they really thought Chicago was going to get back on top with those two guys.
And with Vucevic.
Obviously, sprinkling a little Vooch with that also. Yeah. Kobe Brown. I mean, Kobe White and the rest of the guys. So, you know, but he did, man. I mean, he played his heart out for Chicago and tried to make it work. So they should give him a good welcoming back.
No doubt. It'll be fun to see him get a chance to be back there. Game Night being brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the Power family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. Let's go around the league as we talked about lots of games last night on the schedule. The one I was paying most attention to was that Golden State Clippers game. Warriors win that going away 98-79. The Clips are 2-2. I mean, they got blown out by Utah on opening night. They get blown out at Golden State. It's entirely early. I get that. It's not even November yet. But the Warriors are looking good right now. 4-1. They're 3-0 at home. And Kuminga, after getting the contract thing all settled, seems to be settling in. Steve Kerr seems to be happy with them.
No doubt. I mean, definitely that game the other night was the battle of the geriatrics. I mean, you had the two oldest teams in the league playing against each other, and they took it back to the old school style of a 90s basketball game. But I do have to agree with you, Scott. You talk about teams being able to, get together, have veterans, and play at a very high level. The Warriors are looking pretty good. And Kuminga, they're letting him play. He seems like he's happy. The play on the floor shows that the Warriors are happy, so something's going right down there.
Yeah, no doubt. Steve Kerr's probably the biggest one because he says Kuminga's earned a starting spot moving forward. And that was one of the things where you didn't really know what the dynamic between Kerr and Kuminga was going to be.
And, and how crazy is this, Scott? We went from, in a very short time, Kuminga being moved.
He's going to be gone.
He's not wanted here on this roster. Even when he's playing, he's not playing. He's not coming off the bench. To now, he has his contract. He's playing good basketball. And, guess what? Now he's got himself a starting position. This is all the man wanted in the beginning.
Yep.
We are right where they needed to be, but without all the drama.
Yeah, he's getting everything he wants. So, and then if he plays well after 2 years' time, he's going to have a huge opportunity to bank on that.
Huge, big time.
All right. Some other games from last night. Sixers beating up on the Wizards. Philadelphia is 4-0 to start the year. Tyrese Maxey playing like an MVP, a 39-10 game. Embiid had another 25. We'll see how Embiid is in the long term, but what we do know is if the 76ers have a healthy Joel Embiid, they're going to be a major factor.
Scooter, the Sixers will go as far as Joel Embiid health will go. If Joel Embiid can stay on the floor and give them minutes, because we know when he's on the floor, he's a monster. So all he has to do is be on the floor and stay healthy. That gives the Philly a good chance.
No doubt. 25 points in 23 minutes. And then this kid Edgecombe has kind of come out of nowhere, is playing good ball for the Sixers as well.
You find a diamond in the rough, you get your two major players and get you a diamond in the rough, and everybody is on the same accord, you can make some noise.
Yeah, can definitely make some noise. The Bucks, who the Kings are going to see on Saturday, game 3 of the trip, they beat the Knicks at home 121-111. The Greek Freak, Antetokounmpo, 37 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. The start to his season so far has been historic.
Still a freak. I mean, and Scott really ain't shooting the three-pointer as much as he possibly was trying a couple of years ago. I'm with Giannis. If you can't stop me from getting to the basket, why do I want to step out and shoot a three? I'm going to do what's best for me. And when he gets downhill, only Wemby can match him.
Right.
He's one of a kind from that free throw line once he extends and explodes to the rim.
You can try and build a wall, but good luck with that.
I mean, he's even going over the wall now.
Right, exactly. It's almost impossible to start him when he gets a running start. That is definitely for sure. Some of the games tonight, you've got Houston in Toronto taking on the Raptors, the Cavs, and the Celtics. Jaylen Brown certainly taking a lot of good-natured fun right now.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown and that hairline, boy.
Can't let the spray run, man.
You know what? I know they got good spray, Scott. I know they didn't made some type of advancement after the Carlos Boozer debacle. I know somebody over there at Sheen or Schick or wherever hair products you get has come out with a dye that won't rub off.
The man's making roughly $300 million. He should find something that doesn't rub off on opponent's jerseys, right?
And let me tell you, Scott, that man got enough money to where he could probably go out and get his own chemist and give him his own brand of hair polish so it won't come off.
And high flyer, seriously, if you're making $300 million, do you really care if you have hair or not?
You really don't.
Why would you?
I mean, but a lot of guys' egos are with that. Yeah. I remember when I first started seeing my hair recede, I was like, well, it's time. And the cool thing about it is the coolest guy on the planet is bald, so I'm going to roll with this real quick.
Hey, Shaft did it forever, right?
Hey, you know what? Shaft did it forever, and if you wasn't Shaft, Michael Jordan was a real good second with the bald head, so I was cool with it.
No doubt there. All right, you've got the Mavericks and the Pacers. Cooper Flagg's banged up in that one. AD's averaging 25 and 12 so far. Pelicans and the Nuggets. The Kings are going to see them on Monday night. The Joker, all he's doing is averaging a triple-double to start the year.
The dude's solid, man. I mean, very, very solid basketball player. His game isn't predicated on speed. His game isn't really predicated. It is skill, Scott, but it's unorthodox skill.
Yeah.
You know, the way he shoots and the way he lumbers around, he's so unorthodox, and it's skill to his style of play. But that's why it throws everybody else off, because we're used to a certain style, and he does exactly the opposite.
No doubt. And Aaron Gordon's off to a fantastic
Now,
start, too.
He's balling.
Yeah, he is.
I had a feeling AG was going to have a very good season. After, last year, late in the season, he was really coming on into himself. So with him knocking down that 3-point shot, we know he's an athletic freak around the rim. Knocking down threes and being able to put the ball on the ground and dribble, the dude looks very nice early and often.
He does. You've got the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Of course, Austin Reeves is averaging 36 points a game, 7 rebounds, 8.5 assists. We know most of those came from the game in Sacramento.
Yeah, we helped out with that.
He could wear Luka's uniform right now, pretty much, with Luka out.
Can I say this about Austin Reeves, Scott? When you're a basketball player and you start having some success, right? You're on a team, you start having some success. And then when the number one player in the world comes to you and say, hey, I believe in you.
Yeah.
You're doing good things out there. Keep doing what you're doing. A lot of success on the basketball court has to do with your confidence.
Yeah.
And when you hear LeBron James give you those type of accolades and push you out there himself, bro, your confidence goes through the roof. Now, that basket looks like an ocean.
Yeah.
You start having big-time success. So I think LeBron has a lot to do with how Austin Reeves is playing, saying, you know what, we're going to give you the keys. You go ahead. You lead the way.
But we know Luka's coming back. LeBron's eventually coming back, too. Does Austin go back to being option number 3, and how does that all work out?
As Herculean as Austin's plan,
yep.
Of course, he goes back to being number 3. You will never take the ball out of LeBron James' hands. The only time you're going to do is you got to put him in a rocking chair.
Yep.
Luka is the apparent. We know that. So LD is going to be number 1. So, yes, Austin, you have to get in where you fit in. You're going to have to drop down to number 3. But whenever one of these guys ain't here, you're the guy that we're looking at to elevate.
A lot of people have been talking about the demeanor of LeBron on the bench.
Bro.
You had mentioned it, too, earlier. Is there anything to read into that?
I don't know.
Or is just much to do about nothing?
I don't know. The first night I saw it, you and I, we had a conversation. We was on air, and I was like, Scooter, did you see LeBron's demeanor on the bench?
Yeah.
He's not cheering. He's not engaged in the game. I mean, it's like he's sitting there in a daze. Don't know if he has something going on, within his personal life or whatever. But it's definitely not the LeBron James that, we know and love that's, cheering his team on. It definitely looks different.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, and obviously, who knows? And a lot of people were making a lot about AD. When LeBron broke the all-time scoring record, and AD was apparently looking the other direction, not celebrating with everybody, and everybody read into that, and who knows, what that is. All we do know is AD now is in Dallas, and he's not with the Lakers.
But I tell you what, it's not LeBron-like. I definitely will say that.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. He's got one of the biggest personalities in the game. All right, that's going around the league. We'll take the break. When we come back, we're going to break down this battle versus the Bulls. We've got the Who's on Fire segment, too, brought to you by the Firehouse Restaurant. Game night being brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. They're always looking for volunteer mentors. For just a few hours a month, you can impact the life of a child. Give them a call, 916-646-9300, or visit bbbs-sac.org. That's bbbs-sac.org to learn all about this terrific organization in our city. More of Game Night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
When the chill in the air sends shivers down your spine, don't let your home turn into a haunted house. Keep things cozy and safe with Maverick Electric, your local family-owned team you can trust. Maverick Electric cares about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. So before the real chill sets in, schedule your seasonal tune-up. Visit MaverickElectricalServices.com and let their family keep yours warm and beautiful this Halloween season.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. The High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
Welcome back into Game Night. Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marsh with the High Flyer, Henry Turner. Our final segment as we get you ready for Kings Live pregame. That comes up at 4:30. 5 o'clock tip tonight. Kings and Bulls in Chicago. And that leads us to our Who's on Fire segment, brought to you by the Firehouse Restaurant. And
Who's
Henry,
on fire?
Yeah, we're going to have a nice little jingle with that. I don't think that's it, but, or maybe it is it.
Yeah,
Anthony, is this it? Okay, good. Okay, we've got our new little jingle to go with. I like it. This tonight, we've got to go with the Bulls, with the team that's on fire. They've started the year 3-0. They've opened up with victories against Detroit, Orlando, and Atlanta. And give the Bulls credit, because I don't think anybody would have thought they would have been 3-0 going into this game tonight.
Not at all. You know, nobody would have thought that. Chicago was the team to where, you know, a lot of people say they're rebuilding. Like I said, moved on from DeMar, moved on from Zach, moved on from, you know, some of the other players that they had there. Caruso gone. You know, the thing about it is that, you know, they got a bunch of young guys that's playing hard and they're playing together.
They are. They're playing well together, and obviously Zach LaVine's no longer there. DeMar's been gone. They still have Nikola Vucevic in the middle, and that guy can play.
Man, big time. I mean, one of the last of the dying breed as far as, you know, a true big man that gets it done down in the low post. But even with saying that, he's starting to step out a little bit and catch balls and face up and being able to at least stretch the floor a little.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a quality player. I think one thing that Kings fans look at, especially when you're playing in Chicago tonight. We have Levine, we have DeRozan. We both know they're great players. It didn't work in Chicago with that nucleus. What's the belief that it can work here in Sacramento? And is the plan? We don't know if both will be here long term in Sacramento or not. But what will be different about Sacramento that didn't work in Chicago?
No, I'm with you. Legitimate question. I mean, a bunch of people are saying that. We just seen this movie and it didn't work. So what makes you think it's going to work here in Sacramento? Well, hopefully we got a different coach. Hopefully we got different teammates. And then again, hopefully both of those guys within themselves have a different mindset.
Yeah, we'll see on that. Obviously, we know they're two premier players in the league. And again, we don't know what the roster might look like later in the year. But right now, they're both starting for this Sacramento team. They've got to figure it out.
Definitely got to figure it out. A lot of things got to be figured out, Scott. But that's a part of the NBA, part of the maturation. You have to go through some things in order to find out what's going to work and what's not.
All right, let's get to our injury report for tonight. We had reported earlier that Keon Ellis was out. Not entirely sure if that's the case. Anthony, do you have the latest on what's going on with the injury report, both sides?
Yeah, for Keon, we had heard that he was out, but we have seen now that he is being listed as questionable, so he was downgraded to questionable, I guess is the
Well, what's
term,
interesting is we know in the NBA, questionable usually means better than 50-50. They'll play, not all the time, but questionable certainly doesn't mean out.
Yeah, so just unsure on that one.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for him on warm-ups if you're watching on TV. Neat Clifford obviously out, Keegan Murray obviously out, and then for the Bulls, Zach Collins and Kobe White are both out.
Okay.
See, Scooter, I can't do the tennis shoe test because we're not on the road. Usually I look down there and see if their legs are taped.
Hey, you're
It's
good.
like, if you're taped, you're going, but, can't do that now.
When the high flyer calls you out, you're out of the game. It's official. I don't mention anything until at game night. If I got questionable, I use the high flyer eye test.
I'm telling you, man.
I don't need to see a report about who's out or not.
I mean, Scott, even when I played, if you take the time to tape up your ankles,
You're
9 times out of 10, you're going.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to go, you don't tape your ankles up because you're not going out there to work that hard in your warm-up.
No doubt. All right, let's talk about some of the matchups here. Obviously, Sabonis and Vucevic, that's a good one on the floor tonight. Similar players in the sense they do a lot of multiple things. Vucevic is a better outside shooter. Sabonis is a better rebounder. But I always like seeing this matchup in particular.
Yeah, because they're both big guys that
Mobile.
they don't flop.
Yep.
They don't flop. So it's all about, strength on strength, who's going to be able to concede. Love to see both of these guys battle. It's going to be a tough one for the Kings because, Sabonis has been getting into foul trouble lately. So that won't be a good thing if he happens to get in foul trouble tonight because where do we go to? Where do we run? Where do we hide?
I think that's what everybody's been trying to figure out here, right? What's the next step? And there is no apparent, rotation right now. Doug Christie's searching for it himself. I mean, it's been Eubanks some nights. We've seen Cardwell, Isaac Jones a little bit, but no steady rotation.
Well, the thing about it is that you still want to keep Sabonis on the floor, even if he's in foul trouble. And I think that's where we might see Doug go back to the zone. Even if Sabonis gets 2 early fouls, he might go to a zone and put just Sabonis in the middle to try to hide him a little bit, but still have him at your disposal on the offensive side.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, Josh Giddey's off to a nice start for the Bulls. Good young player in this league.
I like Josh Giddey's game. Big guard, tall, can handle the ball. I think he took a page out of Ben Simmons' book.
Mm-hmm.
A big tall guy that can bring the ball up the floor and can see over the top of everybody. And that makes it a lot easier for you to make those passes. But I like the way he plays. I like the energy he brings.
No doubt. And, of course, Zach LaVine back in Chicago. Kevin Huerter gets another chance at the Kings tonight. And we know what he did coming back here to Sacramento last year.
Kevin Huerter revenge game.
Yep.
Came up big.
He did. He came up huge.
Well, let's hope he got all that out of his system. We need a win, and we need a win tonight.
No doubt. But obviously, if you're going to go zone, you better find where Kevin Huerter is.
Right. You better know who lets it go and who to let go.
You have to absolutely make sure you've got him spotted up. As we said, no Kobe White tonight. That's a big break for the Kings. He plays so well against Sacramento. You still have Trey Jones, who I think is just one of the most underrated point guards.
And that's another thing, Scott. Yes, Kobe White's out, but the Kings have been guilty of this time and time again. You know, we're starting to keep a tally of these guys that really don't have big games, but when they come to Sacramento, they seem to find a way. You know, you just alluded to it. No Kobe White. No Kobe White, but don't let another guy come off the bench and have a Kobe White type night. Right. That's the thing. Take care of your work early. Make sure you don't let a guy come off the bench and have those big-time numbers.
No doubt. And it is a back-to-back. It's the first one of the year. It's early in the year. I know you say it's a non-factor.
Non-factor. Don't want to hear it. Let's go.
We won't talk about it then.
Lace them up tight. Let's go.
Yep. 4-game road trip for the Kings. Saturday in Milwaukee, Monday in Denver before coming back home. And again, you play the games on the floor. You don't play them talking about them here. But if you look at the next three, this is seemingly the most winnable of the next three on the schedule.
Yeah, if you want to look at it on paper. At the end of the day, I look at it like this. This is the one that's in front of you.
Yep.
Go out and get it.
No doubt. And for the Kings, a 500 road trip would be spectacular. You got to at least get one on the road.
Yeah, I mean, even if you come back, what, 2 and 3?
Or 4 great road trip, 2 and 2.
Okay.
Yep. If 2 and 3 overall.
Yes. If you come back 2 and 3 overall, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know, but understand, you do need a win.
Yeah.
You need a win on this road trip.
No doubt. As you say, like, you can win the last 5 games of the year. They're at the end of the year, but they're not any more important necessarily than the first 5 games, first 7 games. The Kings can't afford to dig a hole early this season.
Well, Scott, I'm looking at this team, and I'm thinking, you know, early on, it's more important for this basketball team because we talked about it. A lot of teams will let some games slide early on. Yeah. So if the Kings can be the recipients of those slippery games that teams let slide, they can put themselves in a good position because we know dark days are coming. Mm-hmm. Every team has lulls.
No doubt. Obviously, New York, L.A., everybody loves to play in Madison Square Garden. You know, when you go to a play against the Lakers, always a marquee game. Bulls aren't quite up there right now, but what was it like for you? I'm just curious. Back in the day when you played in Chicago, it was the place to go, right?
3-ring circus.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, you had Mike out there, Scotty, Phil. You know, it was just, man, it was everything.
Was it in the old or United? Yeah, it was in the United. They'd already changed arenas. They were in the old Chicago arena.
Well, the first time I was in the old Chicago arena, and then again I had the chance to play in the United the second stint around.
Yeah, iconic, absolutely iconic. All right, that's going to do it for game night. High Flyer, you're here with Jason. Have a great call tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, coming up next, Kings Live pregame. They'll take you till 5 o'clock. Tip tonight, Kings and Bulls. Sacramento looking to even out the road trip before heading on to Milwaukee on Saturday. Keep it tuned. We've got you covered all evening long here. Sacramento Kings basketball in the Windy City right here. Sactown Sports, 1140.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Match your way to $50K this holiday.